Chris Farfoy.
Mr. Chair, it's to take a call to part one of this debate, and I do want to continue along the theme that a number of my colleagues have around affordability, and I do want to point to, I think it's paragraph 10 of the regulatory impact statement, which is only to part one, which says that 3/4 of the special housing areas will provide around 10% of homes within development to be affordable. Now, either way you look at it, the special housing areas are a form of market intervention. I don't think our friend Mr. Seymour would agree with those, therefore. But I think we really have to question the effectiveness of the special housing areas. Now, I do pay respect to my brothers and sisters from Auckland, but there is an issue in Auckland and Wellington emerging too. I don't have a special housing area within my electorate. I know that the government has an agreement with the Wellington City Council that doesn't cover my area. But when you look at the market as it operates in a raw sense in Porirua, you can see the market at the very top end working, if you're a developer, quite well. There are plenty of houses in some new developments in Porirua, around the $750 to $1 million mark. And yes, that's right. And if you're in that area of the market, construction is going well, that end of the market is booming. But if you're at the affordable end of the market, and you can look at defining that however you like, and I do acknowledge the SOP for Materia Tude, there is nothing available for you. So, in theory, you could claim that the special housing areas would be able to come in and make a difference. But as we've seen in Auckland, that isn't, and we seriously question whether or not the affordability clauses around or percentages around the special housing areas are having any effect in Auckland, and if they were to come further south, what they would do to a market such as Porirua. Because at the moment, we have got around 460 in this region empty state homes. In my particular area in Porirua, it's 126 empty homes, along with large swathes of land that used to have state homes on it that the government demolished, promised to return some homes to those areas, and hasn't done a single thing. Mr. Seymour's got something to say about that. I don't think it would be helpful. So we've got a market that's not working in Auckland and a market that's not working in other areas of the country. So while we support the extension of the special housing areas, I think we have to take a good hard look at the effectiveness of these special housing areas and just look at whether or not that's working and whether we've got a large enough percentage of those affordable homes being built for Kiwis. Because I do remember at the beginning of the process of the Aotea block being built that there was a proposal that a certain percentage, larger than 10%, had to be deemed affordable. That didn't happen. And what you've got now is people who have got plenty of money are fine in the Porirua market. But people who have got no money are struggling to get into the property market to buy a house or even find a house to rent in the private market, and there is almost nothing available in the Housing New Zealand sphere. Of the houses that are available, 42 houses available in Porirua at the moment, I can't see why those houses aren't being given to families that are on the waiting list. I believe the waiting list as it stands, which was cut down about 2 or 3 years ago, is at about 60 families. So we've got empty homes in Porirua and 50 or so families that desperately need them. And I think this extension of the special housing areas might be something that the government's trying to do to make more affordable homes available, but it's certainly not meeting the demand for those people who want affordable homes. And I would suggest that this House looks really closely at the SOP from Materia Tude, which defines affordability. Mr. Seymour doesn't like it because it is a market intervention. But if you look at it, how the market is operating now, it is not working for all New Zealanders. It might work for Mr. Seymour and his friends. It may not be, but it's certainly not working for all New Zealanders. So we've got some serious concerns around part one and the effectiveness of the special housing areas. We've got even more around part two, but we'll come to that when the time comes.
David Seymour.